Cat Studio. I thought today we might revisit our tin can bell tutorial and a different kind of a way to put it together. And hopefully these turn out nice. I've gone ahead and done two already. I've got texture on this one with joint compound and joint compound on this one here. So we'll see how those two turn out later. And so let's go with trying to put this together. So we still have the same supplies, a tin can and a half of a 3-inch styrofoam ball. I've gone ahead and punched a hole in the bottom of the can, kind of this way with a piece of wood, and I just set it on a piece of wood and hammer through. And then I take the styrofoam ball, and if you cut it right in half on the line, you can see the center, and just poke this through and hope that I hit the middle, and I did. So it's coming right out that hole. So it is on there right. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and glue this down with some hot glue. So we'll put our string in there and make a handle out of that this time. Make sure that I'm in the right spot and centered. Okay, we're all set with that. Wipe that glue off. Just let that set for a minute and dry. Take off my excess glue here. And in order to put joint compound on this can, what I'm going to do is decoupage some paper towel on this one. The other ones, I just put glue on the top of this one and put the joint compound on it. This one here, I just put it straight on there, and you can see it didn't stick. It's coming off. So I think it'll stick better to paper. So let's go ahead and do that and make sure we just keep our hole in the top there when we glue this down. So let's go ahead and grab our Mod Podge and start doing that. I think I'm gonna Mod Podge the whole thing with paper towel. And again, it's not gonna matter when we put the joint compound on, because it will cover up the paper towel. So we're just gonna do something like this. Just, it doesn't have to be perfect, because again, like I said, it's going to get covered. Let's make sure we're getting in the right spot here. Okay. I want to make sure that hole is open up. I don't want glue getting stuck in it. Okay. So later on, we'll put our rope through, and I did tape a piece of wire to it so we can pull it through the other side. So I'm going to go and cut that. I think I'm going to trim that off so it's not so bunchy. And I'll just start putting paper around. No, I'm just going to leave it like that. Am I? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a Mod Podger. So let's just go with trimming it down some. Put some glue on that. And just add more paper towel to the bottom section. So let's go and get some our Mod Podge glue, press that in. And I'm gonna, you can see that there's a definite size difference with the styrofoam ball in the can. This is a large soup can. I think we're gonna try and fix that with our joint compound. On one of them, I put clay. This is my big, and I did put a roll of clay around it. That's a difficult thing to do, so I thought, not for the video. We're not going to do that. To try and fit it in and all that jazz. Plus letting it dry. You gotta let it dry till it's completely dry before you can work with it again. Okay, I think that's coming out pretty well. Let's take our other piece. I take my paper towel and I pull it apart. It's a 2-ply towel that I pull them apart so that it's only 1 ply. So let's go around the whole can here with some glue. I am messy. That's why I cover my work. Again, it doesn't matter how this really looks, the paper parts, because we're going to cover this in joint compound. I'm going to try not to say that again. You could cover this in anything you want. This could be tissue paper, computer paper, newspaper, whatever is, you know, available to you that you can use. Go ahead and do that. Hopefully this fits all the way around. Be all set. We even have a seam here. That's kind of cool. See if we might work with that later. So then we just Mod Podge over that and let that all dry up. And I will trim this down at the bottom. And then we'll let that all dry. See if we need to trim it again later. Again, it doesn't matter what this looks like right now because we're going to cover it. I did. I said it again, didn't I? Okay, so I'll meet you back here when this is dry. With the magic of my heat gun, everything is dry and ready to start with the joint compound. Now you can leave it this way and just go ahead and chalk paint this and you could be almost finished. But I want mine to all look kind of the same and I want to show you the process. So let's go ahead and start just spreading this out. It's pretty easy to do. Just put it around that edge where it looked like it was a little bit small. Just spread it on. And you can see my other cans were a bit thin. It doesn't have to be super thick, especially if you want this to dry up quickly. I'm trying to not to cover up the hole. Oops. Just like spreading frosting on a cake kind of thing. Put your hand inside the can, you won't get stuff all over you. And then after this dries, we'll just go in and quickly sand it up with either sandpaper, sanding block, or my favorite tool is my acrylic nails nail file. Alrighty. So I will finish covering this can and I will meet you back here once everything is dry and ready to start sanding. For sake of this video, I think we'll go ahead and work on the ones that are already dried and let that one dry up. And I'll bring that one back at the end so you can see how it turned out. But basically this is the, you know, steps that we take. We just go in and sand until you like it. I mean, I've already sanded this one. I just want to show you how easy it is with your little nail file to get in there and do some sanding. And I keep my sanding dust so that I can use it for texture. I'll show you how we do that in 1 second. So that's the sanding part. So we take a little bit of our Mod Podge glue and put some on. You can sporadically put this on. You can put it everywhere. Depends on, you know, what you like. And we're just going to add some texture to this bell. And you don't need to do this part either. Everything that we do is optional. It's all up to what your tastes are. You like it smooth, you can keep it that way. You could wrap paper around this. Just a piece of cardstock and it would be completely smooth. So what I do is I just go in and roll it a little bit, touch it here and there until I like it. And then I just kind of tap it in a little bit. Somehow it ends up lumpy. I don't know how, but it does. So that's kind of cool, isn't it? Roll it in there. You can sprinkle it in. And some people put baking soda or baking powder, I'm not sure which one, in their paints for texture, which is a possibility, I guess. I've never tried that. So then I just kind of let that set up just like that. Now that it's all tapped into my glue. And let that dry up. Once you like it, set that off to the side to dry. And then I just save this into a Ziploc bag. And this is what we have. And I've already gone ahead and put my rope in there, which, like I said, I tape a piece of wire to the end of the rope, push it down in there. And to me, it's easier to do it that way when it's all put together. And then I pull that through and put a knot in the end of it, so that later on I can hang my clacker or this. For these, I think I'm going to get some of those wind chime things to hang in there, just to, have them make a little bit of a sound, because the other ones that I made, we put wood sticks in there, and I mean, these aren't bells. They don't ring like bells. It's just for looks. So I'm not sure exactly what I want to put in there yet, so we're just going to keep it this way for now. And then we're going to take our chalk paint. And I like chalk paint because, number one, it sticks to everything. And I like this color. It's the Cottage White by Folk Arts. So we'll just go in and paint the whole thing out. And this is going to take a lot of paint probably, because it has a lot of texture, which I love. I think it looks really cool. If you didn't like the texture, you don't have to do this part. You can definitely go ahead and paint the styrofoam ball in the can just plain. And I've done that, I believe, in my other video. So if you need to see that, go ahead and watch that video. And we're going to leave this whitish color, but we're going to add some aging to it. And hopefully they turn out in my mind how I see them. And just go with a lighter version of the tin can bells. The other ones I did were more of a rusty gold color. So if you like that better, go ahead and visit that video, and you'll see the different colors of paint that I used for that. The process I did for those was different, and this seems to be easier as far as putting. You could definitely go ahead and put a different top on here if you wanted to. But I thought the rope would be a nice touch. It's a jute, I think it's 3 or 4 millimeter rope. So once we get this painted out, we're gonna go ahead and get some aging paints, and I'm just going to use acrylic paints for that with water. Maybe the chocolate and the gray together. Or you could just use black and just, age it with that. But we'll be back as soon as this is dry. I went ahead and put a sealer over the top of the chalk paint, and I used the Professional Matte Varnish. This is very flat. The Mod Podge would probably leave a slight sheen if that's what you're going for, but I like the matte finish, so that's what I use. And now we're going to take a little bit of this apple barrel pavement color, a little bit, and we're going to put in a little bit of the melted chocolate. Oop, and I always do that, splash it off the side. Better clean that up. All right, we're going to mix those together. And I'm going to use a wet paper towel. See, I get a little bit of a brownish gray mixing those two colors together. And when it dries, I think it's more brown, as a matter of fact. So I already dampened my paper towel, and I'm just going to go in and tap into that paint and out. so that I don't have a ton of paint here on my brush. So I'm going to take this can here and just go and tap in on the edges. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this yet. I'm just going to brush in on my areas of that are raised from our dust that we put in. Around this edge. This is looking cool already, isn't it? So I would suggest you putting your string in first. I didn't do that because I want to show you how to do that when we're finished. But it makes it easier to handle, you know, when you're painting and setting it down to dry and all that. But I did get paint on it, so. And a little bit on the top here. Looks pretty cool, huh? What do you think? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Would you try it? Let me know in the comment section how you feel about this style here of tin can bell. And once they're hanging up, you'll get a better idea how they look in an array of bells, I guess. So let's move that one off to dry. A little bit on the top here. You could glaze this as well if you wanted to do that instead. It's just really water down your paint. Go ahead in there and wipe it on with your brush and then wipe it out with a paper towel like you would put a stain on it, I guess. But we're not going for that look today. So let's go ahead and do the other one. I might do this one a little different. Let's see. The edges. Maybe not as much on the can as I have on that one. Just here and there. Something like that. I think that's how I'm going to leave it. And the last one isn't dry yet, so I will probably do that one off camera. So I think that's it. I think that's all I'm going to put on here. I think that looks really cool. What do you think, guys? Okay, I'll be back. Well, let's go ahead and put that rope in that other one whilst we're here. Our twine through the hole now. I don't know which way is easier, up or down. We're going to try down first. If I can't get this, then we'll go the other way. There we go, just like that. So what I do is I just usually don't even try to take this tape off. I just cut this off. I'll take it off camera. I'll just go ahead and cut that right off right there. I'll take my wire out later and use it for some, you know, for the other one. So I just go ahead and make a loop here. And I haven't cut it off the roll yet, so I have plenty to work with. And go ahead and tie a knot here. Like so, just put these two together. Then wrap that around. And that's never going to come out, I'm pretty sure. All right, so here we are with our loop. So we can hang something from it later on. Trim this down a little bit. Make sure it's good and tight. Pop it up through the can. So we can still reach in there and, you know, wire something up onto that loop later on if we wanted to. So now I'll probably just go and do the same kind of loop on top. A little bit bigger, let that hang down. And I think what I'm going to do, let's see how this turns out here. Not sure yet. I've done this once before with a different can. And let's see. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then I might wrap this around here, you know, and then just hang it on my twig or whatever I'm gonna hang this on. I'm not sure yet. And then go ahead and wrap this around and hot glue this down. That's what my plan is. So I think that looks pretty cool like that. As long as you don't need to take that back out, go ahead and hot glue that down. Because that knot will hold this in so that you don't have to worry about it coming off. So go ahead and in there and trim that kind of like a sideways trim. And then glue that down like so. Put some glue right here. And then right on the rope. Use my little tool so I don't burn my fingers. Press that in. And it is finished. Just about. I'll get my little jingly thing in there later on. And I'll show you how these all look hanging together. I'll finish the other one up the same way we did this one. And I'll be back to show you all of them. So here we have the finished product. I just brought a stick in from outside to put them on. And I'm going to, you know, tie a string up here so I can hang it someplace in my house. And I'll photograph that for you. The can that we worked on together, I did not put the texture on. I just smoothed it out really a lot with the sanding block and then just went in with my paint and sealer and then the aging paint. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I love these. Which one are your favorite? The texture ones? I mean, can you tell the difference or not? I love the texture ones close up. They are really cool looking. So give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share this out with your friends, and have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.